What's kicking the internet? Twitch.tv/VibeWar. This thing is on. Here we go. Taking a look. Nobody on yet. All good. Hair's a mess. Where's my hat? I'm gonna wear a hat. Got a hat now. Getting tired of that chrome dome nugget up top. Look at this sloppy as hell chroma key. Oh yeah, feedback loop. When you're a web developer, you end up with like 5 browsers installed so that you can test things in different views, to have different, what's the word? Different logins on each browser session, kind of similar to how Incognito swaps things out, that kind of stuff. I've been playing Persona 5, but I'll pause it and like leave it on all night so it like racks up 200 hours playtime, but that's just from being left on pause. Maybe I should stream video game sessions. Like, that would not be the worst idea in the world, but like, I feel as though I would feel guilty for not working on this stuff for the app. So this weekend, so I'm not particularly super religious, but I have decided to observe a Lenten sacrifice of alcohol as part of a fitness arc. So today has been I had practically like 2 workouts, at least, for today. First was a 5K row where I got it to 20 minutes, 15 seconds. I'm almost back under 20. And then a dance lesson in the Viennese waltz. Fantasy vibe. This is sparkling mandarin marshmallow. I love it so much. It's like a dreamsicle rain, except you don't feel like you're going to die by consuming it. Looking at like this angle, it looks kind of fat when I was like this. All right, here, got a little extra chin action. So, drinkable creamsicles. That's right. Welcome, Sum of Primes. Happy to have some friends here. Let's drinkable. There's a few drinkable dreamsicles or creamsicles. Rain has a flavor, which is absolutely delicious. Except it's like, oh, look at this. Doxing all the chats. Good thing, good thing they barely work now. So, not too much info being spread. So let's do. So let's tweet about this. First, Yeah, Dreamsicle Rain is great, except when you drink it, it's 24 ounces, and there's like 4 cups of coffee worth of caffeine, so like you have it, and like you feel like you're gonna die. Anyway, so I hiked a mountain on Sunday. It was like a mile-long trail, but like 1,000 feet up. 1,800 feet up. Okay. But maybe it's, anyway, I got a nice hiking path. Yeah. The rain is a little too much. This stuff also has a lot. I think it has like, it says 200 milligrams of caffeine total. And I think a cup of coffee is like 90. I don't know what the actual stat is. Like, we can look that up. $95, 8 ounces. Now, I usually drink way more than 8 ounces, so. So a venti cup of coffee, about 200 milligrams. 1 Celsius, 200 milligrams. So that's like a venti cup. A little less than a venti coffee. Oh, is this girl not call herself Isodope anymore? Oh no, that's it. This is a great follow. This girl, she's like a gonzo fashion TikToker who just does activism for nuclear energy. Here she's got this like poorly fitting jacket over this kind of hot looking like weird cut dress. I guess it's not poorly fitting. They just gave her like wider padded shoulders than her frame has. She's still hot as hell. Like, really interesting, but Beyonce as nuclear cooling towers. So gonzo fashionized stuff, yeah. But let's see, we have to tell everyone. I got my burgers. Got my burgers. Burgers then have a saturated fat catnip crash for 60 seconds. This is me manic posting up here. Going live in a minute. I haven't eaten anything though. Gonna make a hamburger instead of spazzing out. And so I gotta write something that sort of clears the cache of the people logged in on a previous game, because it makes it look like that all these people are just, you know, waiting ready to go, but let's see. Isodope is so cool. It's wild having like. All right, on Darth Goracorn. Welcome back. Drawing while I lurk. We can start with a drawing round. We can draw. We can vibe or draw. We can fight with our drawings. So what I worked on this weekend was writing a new DNS, because I just get the impression that I can really follow the trend better if I've got a AI domain. And so I still need to optimize this. Like, I need to swap the images out so they load instantaneously and everything. But the test site is live, or the sales site at least. So I'm gonna set up some redirects, get the purchasing and all that stuff set up accurately for registrations. It's just the sign-in. It wasn't maintaining the session between the .ai and the subdomain of app. .viboard.ai, and also I'm going to deprecate this comic book thing. I'll get back to writing it eventually, but it's going to get out of here. So 600 cards. Darth Goracorn writes, I am 600 cards behind on stat logging. So I'm catching up on that and doing some alt art concepts for the card game. It's badass. What's your card game? Is there a website for it? Is it a promo somewhere? I can pull it up on the stream. I am talking slow today because, like I said earlier, I'm on a fitness arc. Doing cardio every single day for the last 10 days. And I'm about 4 pounds heavier than when I started on the scale, so something's going up. Maybe my calories have gone up. On paper, designing the base concept on paper. Okay, that's smart. Like there was I remember in college, like someone was pitching that all game design concepts can be prototyped as cards on paper before they even become like adventure games and things like that. I've tried. It's tricky, but it's not crazy. But that ideology seems to hold, right? Like, because you get high mechanics complexity already out of the gate with like Arkham Horror is like the worst example, and like Magic the Gathering is like the most engaging one. And so then when they make these digital games like Hearthstone, they haven't swapped it out at all. It's still just a card game, right? So, Jeff Gorkwan writes, I'm trying to drop soda because they changed the way they make them, making many even more unhealthy. That's a disaster. Shoot. Yeah. I had a breakup like right at the start of the pandemic, kind of bad timing. And I got in such epic shape, but like I was trying out all these like weird fads online with like the extended fasting kind of stuff. I once didn't eat anything for 6 days. Some of Prime's writes, I enjoyed the book Challenges for Game Designers / Non-Digital Exercises for Video Game Designers. That is a really cool recommendation. I'm going to look that up right now. So Opera is not my preferred browser, but I do, I have like different accounts logged into every like section of my thing, and so that's how I usually end up for this is nifty. It's not even textbook price. Look at that. Amazon. This is kind of funny. Like the first, like I remember back in like the 90s and early 2000s where like the first AI applications seemed to be like personal shopper apps. And they never really worked, right? How they like would try to index like the next appropriate thing for like the user, like in sequence. And so now that the LLMs are like pulling it off, it's like maybe it's time. Maybe they'll have their moment, you know? Amazon is a pretty remarkable company. I was doing so funny enough, Whole Foods is owned by Amazon, but their self-checkout system, as well as their point-of-sale system, is still the legacy client that they had before they bought Whole Foods. And I work for them, right? And I'm building the next iteration of it. And so Amazon, you would expect them to just have their own point-of-sale interface, like that automatic camera store thing. But turns out it's actually easier to just throw money at a problem and have it work instead of just like starting over from scratch and building a whole like store-wide kind of thing. Darth Gorkorn writes, Amazon is remarkable, but they need to make sure they don't get too brave with their greed. Amazon's a little untouchable. And yeah, the greed is high, but the hustle is like the highest of any company that there is. Like, which, I mean, it's daunting to imagine someone not leaving after like 3 years, just at the pace you keep up with the entire time. Hasbro is a really funny example. So Darth Gorkon writes, many companies are failing because they let greed take over. Hasbro is a good example. So is Hasbro anything but supporting legacy products? Like, do they write new things, or like they put out like Transformers movies and Battleship movies, and then do like new art for old board games? Yeah, exactly. Like, it is solely a legacy thing, and it's like they're just gonna milk it until like death. Like, if you have that much market position, like you'd almost expect that to be able to take really interesting like risks and novelties. Like, imagine if Hasbro had the Facebook mentality of, oh, someone's threatening our market share, let's go buy them, and like, you know, blow that up as the new thing for Instagram style. You know, that would be a pretty interesting stretch for them. But that's not easy to do with their like printing business, because they're just seeing everything. It's a bad relationship, right? Like, oh yeah, Darth Gorkorn writes, and even then the pricing is absurd. Well, I remember, like, I'm not trying to get political, but like I was watching some of who's the streamer? His name is Jeremy Hambley. He covers Magic the Gathering, and like he had a long criticism of like the declining card stock of Wizards of the Coast, like as they supported like iterations of their also legacy product, and it's like it seems so hard, right? Now, Cards Against Humanity proved something, right? And didn't they even scale it up to have a full printing business for like other startup card games? That was their attempt in like 2009-ish. I don't know if that's still happening. Darth Gorkon writes, on top of that, they're going full agenda pushing way too often, pushing a lot of potential customers away. Yeah. Do Wizards own Dungeons and Dragons? Like, that's their property, right? Like, they're going through this whole like refactoring of like the racial politics of orcs versus gnomes and whatnot, which, hey, I think it's okay for orcs to be evil and not like say that actually means there are people who are evil, right? Like, but so be it. Yeah, it's too bad. As opposed to whoever owns Warhammer, where they're like, we hear your concerns. We're not changing. We're not changing our product. You're welcome to go elsewhere. Darth Gorkorn writes, a lot of people are going into other options because of that, and being evil is fine. Yeah, it's, you know, and hey, like, gosh, whoa. I'm remembering like a Reddit post of someone whose like senior yearbook quote was the dragon at the peak in Skyrim saying, "Which is better, to be born good or to be born evil and become good through great effort," or something like that. Some of the Primes writes, diving into things that can support charities over the past several years has been eye-opening. That's interesting. LOL, it's a great voice one. Welcome to my Dragon Peak. I do not get visitors here. Let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna keep this up. Check it out. Gosh, what I was about to say was, if I ever do get into video games, it'll be good discipline for if I pivot my career, and then I suddenly realize, what the hell am I saying? This entire stream is game testing this video game I wrote. Silly me, but Darth Gorkhorn writes, I won't give a red cent to the Red Cross, knowing what I learned. They are crooked on so many levels. Non-profit is really more of just an alternative business model as opposed to a implicit good. That's how it comes through at the end of the day. Does money end up in the hands of people who needs it? Yeah. Does a lot of money get spent in the process of getting it there? Yeah. Are executive salaries comparable to that of Coca-Cola? Probably not as much, but yeah. So, Some of Primes writes, if you want something more general on gamification, I have another recommendation called Reality is Broken by Jane McGonigal. 20% of it. Honestly, if it's just 20% overhead for a charity, that sounds to me like they're doing it. It sounds to me like that's probably one of the better performing ones. Oh, wait. You're saying 20% is the final cut to the people in need? Or the 20% off the top to the overhead cost? I'm just imagining like what I'm going to have to buy for Facebook ads to get new subscribers one by one as soon as this comes out. I gave you an either or and you wrote yes. Okay, 20% to the people who need. That blows. That really blows. That's like, look at all the starving children. Send your money here. Hey everyone, we bought that one kid in the ad a cheeseburger. Congratulations, we did it. You're the real heroes. He wrote you a letter and a hand-drawn picture of his happy family with that cheeseburger that we bought him with the uppercase. I totally spaced tonight. Dude, you're not late. So did I. I've had a ridiculous day. We haven't even started playing it. Like if we go here... Oh, we got uppercases in. Welcome. Darth Gorkhorn writes, and they hire disabled people they know they can pay less on purpose. Oh, jeez. Yeah, so I'm learning more about codependence in general, like reflecting back on like my relationships and things like that, and like there's a few things where you get wronged by others that many times like you kind of have set it up for yourself in that regards too, and it's like this doesn't absolve anyone taking advantage of anyone, but it's like how you learn how to like know how to protect yourself, you know, and it's and there's a special quality where there are people for whom they feel the most enriched by doing the most for others, right? And those people, the more you can lean into them and on them, will put their whole lives into making it happen, either with more money or more volunteer efforts, and then until they just totally get used up, you know? And like a functional organization needs to know how to keep the most out of everyone, particularly these golden gooses that make things happen. But at the same time, it's easy to get leaned on and guilt tripped into giving more, you know? That's kind of how scam works. I gave to one charity where they send farm animals to people to like, you know, chickens and cows to raise abroad. And they call me like every few months. It's like, hey, thank you so much. Can we have more money? And I'm like, no. You can have the old money, but no, you can't have more money. They're like, well, thank you so much. It's like, yeah, goodbye. Anyway. Let's see. Hey, everyone in the chat. Hey, it looks like Dancing Horse signed on, linked out. Welcome. We don't have to get Doomer on altruism here. Welcome, Dancing Horse. So nice to see you. They gave you pink text in my window here. Very stylish. Pink text. Some of Prime's writes he loves the comic. Oh, thank you so much, dude. There are more. So basically, the entire. So this whole project started as that comic where I was creating DALL-E prompts and putting them into frames just because it just felt life-changing to play with it when I first got access to it. And so I was just kind of like take Twitter arguments and stuff and just throw it and just like plagiarize it and make it a whole thing. There's a whole Ayla thread where she's like writing how effective altruists have no balls, so I just took her stuff verbatim and made more pages out of it. But then I was like, I don't really want to ask permission for that, and so they're not published, but I can show you what they look like. They're some pretty dope pages. But anyway, we have got a video game here. This is called Vibe War. This is the currently alive URL, vibewars.com/game. In the future, maybe as soon as next week, we might need to play through app.vibewar.ai/game, but for now, we can keep it at a normal one. And let's see. Oh my god, now that we have, like, when I was writing those comic panels, the most aggravating part of the whole thing was having no compositional control over, like, how people are posed, like, the agent who's there, like, how to orient them, which angle to come from, like, how many people are in the scene, if you have two people, specifying one to the whole thing. And apparently everyone else had the exact same stress, because now, roughly 6 months later since the public release of DALL-E 2, tools for all of those things exist. Like, usually as an extension of Stable Diffusion. But, it's happening. Like, the open source blow up of Stability AI has been such an incredible blessing. Dude, it's Foom. It's real. Like, I show this game to like my friends who work in like engineering and insurance and stuff. And they're like, "This is cutting edge. This is brand new." And I'm like, "You guys have no idea about how behind the ball it is." But whatever. It's not behind the ball. It is progressing exactly at pace. They got a new Midjourney? Oh, man, V4 put everyone to shame. Like, because Midjourney, I applied to work there. They never got back to me, but maybe I need to hit them up on the Discord instead of their public URL for that. Also, Stability just posted a bunch of new job openings since they got like $1 billion, and didn't they go public for like $1 billion raise or something? It wasn't public; it was some big seed round, but whatever. Gosh, that's so funny. The new version of Midjourney will blow people's minds. Death Gorkorn, can I like DM you? I wanna check in if they're still hiring over there. It would be sweet to hear like what they're offering and what they need, like talent wise. Because there's a few ways they can upgrade their Discord service and how it goes to the back end. Sweet. I'll be in touch. But let's see. We need a category. We got the game open here. Oh, what else am I going to do? We got notifications. Got my burgers, saturated fat, catnap. We got a crew. Let's just go for it. We don't have to. I'll just write. We live. Yeah, so I technically had like two or okay, I just spent the last hour researching the Tarantella. Where can we take that? Dancing tell us what is this Tarantella that you've spent the last hour researching? I am unfamiliar. Tarantella. Couple folk dance of Italy. Characterized by... Does this look terrible? This like staticky, like black fog on my like shirt. The Southern Italian dance. Two couples. 6/8 time, just like the Viennese waltz. Let's see. We are going to talk over this to not get Gosh, this would be the worst thing to be to get a copyright back violation for folklore jam band little dance. Goes back a long way, but frenetic dancing should be the cure. Oh, it was said to be the cure for tarantula bite. You know, I like that optimism, right? It's like, oh no, I've been injected with deadly poison by a black widow. What am I going to do with my last days on Earth? You know what? I'm going to dance my heart out and just leave it in God's hands. You know? It's like, Black Widow got me. We're going to let God decide this one. All right. But was that just a way to keep traditions alive in spite of crackdown by the church? So they were going full Kevin Bacon Footloose on them, where they like didn't let them like do their dance thing, but they're like, oh no, this is a cure for tarantula bite. We have to do it. I don't think tarantulas are as venomous as other spiders. Is that true? I'm not sure. Like they have fangs and they're huge, but I don't think they like are full on murder spider. So maybe a dance would, you know, take care of business for you. Also, I have no clue, so don't take my words for it. Definitely see a doctor if you get bit by a tarantula. But let's see. Let's do a genre of folk dance medicine. See, that is interesting, because there's some things that like squeak through the church crackdowns and some things that don't, right? Like, it's like Dia de los Muertos is like very, like, it's not a universal Catholic thing, but it sticks around, you know? Dancing Horse writes, folk dance medicine, I like it. Number 1, a traditional revelry honoring the gods in an old growth forest. That's pretty cool. Very Weirwood vibes for the Game of Thrones. Number 2, an enchanted lake where merfolk swap stories. Ooh. Ooh. That's very like, you know that old painting of like the 3 nude girls like playing in the water while they bathe or something? Like that's what goes through my head when I like read that. An outdoor jamboree with healing rituals and organic food. Huh. I think that's just like Bonnaroo, right? I don't know. Except the healing rituals are getting your ecstasy tested for fentanyl before ingesting it. Let's see. A pilgrimage to a holy mountain to observe the cardinal directions. That's cool. I would take that in a slightly different area, but the sacred north, the sinister south, the eccentric east, and the war-torn west. Gathering around a bonfire to celebrate the cycles of life and death. You would do that with a dance for sure. A gathering of shamans in the desert, gathering celestial energy from the stars. Ooh. Also Bonnaroo. But like in Elden Ring. Like Bonnaroo and Elden Ring, that would be that one. So let's see. Revelry. Revelry can be a dance, right? What is revelry? Noisy partying or merrymaking? Yeah, you would dance in revelry. Some of Prime's writes, yep, you could definitely do voiceovers. I admit some of the old Warcraft sound bites popped to mind. I put a reel together once. I was going after it. It was back when I was a full-time stand-up comic, but it wasn't that funny. Like, it was very clever, but like it wasn't the same, right? Like, you can write something and then like maybe it works and lasts, but like you get on stage and suddenly it's a whole different beast. Honestly, way different from Twitter too. A traditional revelry honoring the gods in an old-growth forest. And I'm adding folk dancing for health, just so we keep that in. And so let's kick it off. We're going to do a normal prompting round. And we've started. I'm so tired of you. Darth Gorkon writes, I could do comedy in a club where they allow dark humor. Ooh. They got plenty of black clubs in Atlanta. I know, that's not what you mean by dark humor. But, yeah, you can totally. Like, no, there's not a place where they would say that's not allowed. If it's a place where I have to coddle feelings, I'm screwed. Okay, so let's see. If you're getting started in comedy, you're going to be able to do the mics. And if you're in a town, there are a few towns where it's good to get started. Those are ones without big professional comedy scenes. Just a bunch of people really hustling to get things going at bars and whatnot. And they'll book, like, touring comics to have a spot at, like, you know, the Punchline, the Funny Farm, or whoever opened up something like that. And but there'll be a bar somewhere that on a Tuesday night around 10 p.m. there'll be a guy outside be like, hey, we've got a comedy show, you and have a nice date, come in, check in, we got some brand new comics, you're trying out their new stuff. And it'll be a room mostly of other comics. Some of them will be drinking. Most won't be. The staff will be annoyed because they're not really making any tips off the event. And people, not too many will be paying attention, but they will respond to the crudest and darkest of whatever you have. And they've heard already the most vile things ever in the world. So everything new that takes those people further into crazy, they'll totally reward you for. So I feel like I'm babbling a little bit. Like, there is like a point here, but basically, no one's. The only reason they would kick you away for dark humor is if other people wanted the stage time. But on some weeknight at a bar or something, like those steady alcoholics keeping that spot alive, they'll enjoy it. Like, you're only gonna have to coddle feelings if you get paid for a corporate gig and do like a clean show for something, you know, that you're paid for. I'm also drinking cream soda Zevia. 0 cal. I'm going to start with Open Journey, although it has not been perfect. I want to see Dali. There's a new Dali coming out. Currently on experimental release. Why do I have so many Twitter notifications? my buddy in insurance, he texted this to me, and it's just wild seeing like the AI discourse like bleed into the normal world. It's like, man, the culture is getting taken over. It's like Teapot is the world. Like at this point, everything is downstream of AI now. And so the people who are talking about AI, like that becomes the vocabulary that gets into everybody else's communication. John Oliver is following behind us. Everything else, like I really have to pimp the media side of this game more and like really sell it. But I'm in dev mode and I'm on a fitness arc. So as soon as I get hot, we can really be a host and pimp this channel and get to thousands of people. Start giving away prize money for winning the game. Darth Gorkorn writes, I struggle enough keeping my Mid-Journey word guides up to date. Ooh, that's cool. It's good to have documentation, man. You can definitely crowdsource that effort, you know, if you have like a wiki or something for it. He also writes, I can't wait to have to retest my Word notebooks when the new version drops. Gosh. Mid-Journey V3 to V4 was so unreal as a boost. Like, what an accomplishment. And like, DALL-E has just put forward their art ho phase, where you can get like really impressionist, really moody, really high fidelity, detailed kind of photography, emulated shots. But like all the stuff people are posting, like Amelie is a great follow. She has a Twitter show where she like works out stuff, but like right now her house is falling apart, so it's not as airing as frequently. But she's a great guide, is featured in a lot of like NFT galleries and stuff with the style that she was able to train on like a modern dream booth process. But there's a bunch of people with demos of what the new, yeah, she's got a great like sci-fi neon kind of thing. But she had early access to the new DALL-E, and there's a bunch of I think this is an example. Yeah, so this is like DALL-E 2 versus the new beta, right? So it's gonna be exciting to play with, but like even what it's creating seems, it seems small change compared to either the way people are hacking the hell out of Stable Diffusion with these models that they're posting on, what's it called? Avant? I forgot the name of the place where they're sharing all the like all the horny models and stuff for SD, but it was like Avant.art or something like that. But I'll pull it up. That's where I got the condensed safe diffusers version of the ControlNet weights. It's a really well maintained community resource. It's where like Protogen and whatnot are hosted. But the point is DALL-E 3. They're calling it like DALL-E 2 experimental. Just call it like DALL-E 2.5. OpenAI is so afraid of like hard number like iterations, but because GPT-4 is supposed to be like God or something, right? It's supposed to be on like, this is supposed to be a logarithmic scale of iterations or an exponential one, not like a weekly release version. Exactly, DALL-E 2.99999999999. Like, it's gonna be like DALL-E 2 factorial, right? But Some of Primes writes, V3 to V4 was fantastic, though the limitation on aspect ratios was an adjustment. Though they did increment that back. You can get 16:9 right now. I think it's totally unbound. And to catch some of the old look and feel for studies involving that style, that's true. The ability to revert was a boon. Old Midjourney was beautiful, like the way it had like this ethereal kind of like glow to everything it was outputting. You're exactly right. And in fact, like someone had an observation a while ago that like eventually when these things are too good, we're going to be nostalgic for the glitches, right? And I love the glitches. Like, that's partly why I have so much fun with like these models that are kind of busted here and there. But like, ooh, Summer Primes writes 16 to 9 is back in MJ. I have some exploring to do. It absolutely is, and because of that, it does a lot more like cinematic composition too, because you can sort of scope it in that style. So like when we were showing off the Corridor Digital Rock Paper Scissors anime the other night and last week, and so I was so annoyed by all the animators who were being haters about it. I ran this through Midjourney, and this was blank. I obviously added the text after the fact, but this is a prompt of a stylish homeless artist holding his masterpiece painted on cardboard, and yeah, it's just people having a hard time after rock paper crossblades. Well, I don't want to go to their website. And like we pointed out while we were watching it, like there's moments that the expressiveness was not captured accurately, right? But like this is such a remarkable accomplishment of creativity, of vision, of like having a concept, seeing it through naturally to the end, and delivering at an extreme rate, saying we want to show off this one tool in like the image-to-image processing. And what they did is such, sure, if you hand painted every cell, you wouldn't have that flickering light. You would have a touch more definition in the expression right there as it went past his face. But my God, what they've done here is it is a thing of awe. And sure, you know, some people can be stressed out about, you know, what this means for priorities to digital studios, what this means for money, the amount of money that'll go into things. Will we pay thousands to teams of Koreans to like hand draw these things anymore? Or will we just run it through AI systems and have to deal with these little bits of errors in here and there? And it's like, it'll be some approximation of both. The Koreans will learn how to do this too. Just give it better quality control. And like just in terms of like what you can do out of like a normal base creativity to express yourself is like we live in the Renaissance, like, and every moment, like the state of the art is redefined. Right? There's no greater blessing, you know. So this was me responding to their bitterness with more bitterness, but maybe it's in bad taste. But this is a 16:9 Midjourney prompt. That's the entire point of that long tangent. So there you go. Let me catch up with the chat. Darth Gorkon writes, basing colors off of gems does some wonky stuff. I agree. I ran a few Midjourney gem-based prompts and bled them together as a sort of way to sell credits for this game that, you know, yeah, don't worry about, you know, buying stuff, but I was able to create these sort of like gem transformations. Now, for that to be like the guiding color palette for like a whole scene, you know, like let's say like an amethyst bathtub or something, you know, that would also be sweet. But I managed to get like 10 different graphics out of it. Although I've shared this in the past, but I wasn't sure if you guys had seen some of that stuff yet. But so be it. Dr. Gore, Summit Primes, I had a good chat with a photographer in the Web3 space who's experimenting with 21:9. Interesting way to play with composition at extreme levels. 21. Nice. That's fun. I suppose some phones are that, because most phones aren't exactly 16:9. Darth Gorkorn, this is still amazing. Agreed. Some of Prime's agreed. Corridor doing amazing things. Agreed. Some of Prime's. As far as me personally, I'm not a spring chicken. Dark room work, early generative art. So you get it. You've been in the mines. Physical media, 3D rendering, and so on. When AI came along, I didn't go eek. I thought this could be a really interesting addition to my toolbox. That's a really that's a very mature approach to like the evolving tool sets here. Darth Gorkorn, literally 2.5, maybe 3% of the art community live off of art and are complaining the loudest. Yeah. Although the ones complaining the absolute loudest are the people who like travel from like comic book convention to comic book convention, and their entire like business is making like fan art twists of like Final Fantasy characters by putting them into like custom poses for their customers and these like one-off drawings, and this is absolutely a threat to that as a way of life. So sorry guys. If you've made a life drawing the exact same thing countless times, things are going to be tricky to keep that going. Also true for professional engineers, lawyers, doctors, pharmacists. Yeah, anything where you can do the exact same thing every day forever. Yeah, accountants too. Although I'd be surprised if they don't already have these kind of tools to be able to just scale up operations and just be able to check, click to confirm at the end, more as error checking quality control than as actually doing the work when it comes to the human side. Darth Gorkorn says a lot of the small artists are embracing it fully. Yep, seen that, and really cool to see. Someone Prime says the exact same thing. Small and large. The small and the large. It has been great to see. Someone Prime says yes, then it would def be a threat. Accountants. Yeah. I have not written a prompt yet, and Uppercase has put one in already. Dantigors hasn't submitted one. I hope she's having fun with this one. But let's actually write a prompt. Oh, and also, let's see. So, Goth600 just started a new group chat for prompt engineering, and I think he was leaning more into the jailbreaking. What is it called? GPT stuff, but a bunch of these guys are into the. Bunch of these guys are into the art. We've been sharing that as well. So just dropping that we're live with our prompting stuff. What music are we playing? We have got the Twitch soundtrack, which has prearranged contractual permissions to all users for the live stream session. And this is a band called Fury Weekend under Stream Synths playlist, playing Retro Rangers. I have Fury Weekend pops up a few times on my like Synthwave Chill Spotify channel. It is funny seeing there's a whole like slew of artists who are like what is it? Just keeping that 80s movie soundtrack feel alive with their stuff. Just throwing a little guitar solo in there and like AFK while I look for a link. All good, bro. I have to draw some art here. No one's, well, so the web interface for chats doesn't really work, but well, 2 people have looked at it. So be it. Think creatively. A gathering. A gathering of villagers around a campfire. An ancient forest dancing in a harvest festival in celebration of life, honoring of their gods. Generate. Maybe I should have added parameters for the style, the medium, the composition. But it's either going to be a portrait of some chick, or it's going to be like a circle thing. Oh, look at this! That's dope. Good job. Very abstract. Like this is a little weird, very gooey Shogothy over here, but hey. Good job. I want to see what Dali does. I gotta give credit to Dali. Like its output is not top of the line, but like as a mashup tool, I think it does the best addition of concepts in collision with each other. You can produce similar outputs from other things, but it requires an incredibly precise, not incredibly, but a good precision in prompting and a bit of luck to get what you're looking for. And I think Dali is the most reliable for weird things made real. But this was a good job by the Open Journey, which is a Stable Diffusion model trained on Midjourney V4 outputs. Ooh. Darth Gorkon writes, I'd add something like slow fade effect front to back lighting. That's a good point. Let's see. What would be a good depth of field? That's what it's called. High depth of field, vertigo effect, ethereal mist, magical aura, pagan celebration, neon glow. Give it a little magic. You know? Slow fade effect. I'm hoping that the slow fade is pulled off from high depth of field and vertigo effect, but we'll see. We'll see if I can pick up on those. Dancing Horse has got one in, so I need to. I love this. I want to go to Fairy Bonnaroo. Like, or is this what Vibe Camp's going to be like? Are we going to be going Lord of the Rings style on this? Anyway, this is beautiful. I'm submitting it. I'm really happy. We got submissions from everyone except for this guy who never logged in today. It was cool to have him briefly last week. Thank you again, Queequeg. I need to write something so that when you hit new game, it pushes everyone out of the list and forces you to confirm it again. But uppercase and Dancing Horse, y'all ready to judge? 3, 2, 1. 3, dun, dun. Well, I'm gonna hit it. Here we go. Ooh, everyone's is pretty cool. So we got a 3-way match here. 1-on-1-on-1. Dance Horse ready! Hell yeah. This is nice. I like the nighttime and the lightning, because that's definitely the ancient gods, you know, like they're communicating back to us by sending the bolts of lightning from Olympus or from Asgard or wherever else. This one's mine. Very nice festival vibes. Man without a face. Also, here we have other pagans without a face, and with the birch trees here, this is beautiful. Is this one Dali? It looks like Dali, because the way the style comes together is very much like that. I have to pick one. Okay, this looks like they could be hunting you or partying with you. It could be one or the other. I'm not sure. The way he's pointing or something. Gosh, the tree is so good. The guys are so good. I'm gonna vote for the tree. I like the lightning. Dancer Horse. Yeah, Dolly. So I think she made that one. Sorry to not vote for his Dancer Horse. Everyone's got one in. Let's go finish. Boom! Look at that. We got 2 votes for linked out uppercase for the old gods. 1 vote for Vibe War. That's me. With the Harvest Festival here. This was so beautiful. Good composition. Good foreground, background. AI has gone to art school. Like, this is like kids' art. And, like, the things you would say the kids' art did good, this did good on. Good job, AI. And then, no votes for this, but I still love it. I love the tree texture. I love how the people also look like tree textures, right? Like, their skin looks like it's also wood bark, right? As if this itself was a wood cutting painting sort of mix, and then like using that medium to like create the whole thing. This would be amazing on a wall somewhere, even just like printed like that. I love this stuff. This is so much fun. As if they're melding with the trees. Yeah, because they are people of the earth. They're aligned with their environment, which is the biggest fear of our AI future, right? Is the environment unprepared for that? Will it so radically redefine the environment that we will not share alignment and needs between creatures evolved through the earth versus creatures evolved purely through Bayes' theorem and computation, right? So it's like, is it possible to have the same goals, to have aligned values, to all that stuff? Maybe not. But I'm willing to let evolution play out, because that's what we're gonna face in the next 10 years. It's we got something new. The world's crazy. I don't even know if anything's ever gonna be normal ever again. Let's see. Some of Prime's writes, found the link. If you want more flexible music options as your streaming base grows, licked.co looks interesting. The best damn music for creators. That's awesome. We got some serious DJs in the mix. Yeah, we can take care of that. It looks very fun. Uppercase writes, evolution requires selection. Please don't select me out. But usually the selected are the ones who get to advance. But I understand what you're saying. Gothgorcorn, honestly, normal has never had a true definition. Yeah. Like if you're looking back at like postmodern literature and like celebrating like the queering of sciences and whatnot, there's nothing more queering to normal life than technological advancement, right? More so than this is gonna shake up everyone's stuff. Gosh, did you see that? Remember that guy like a month ago who was like saying we're gonna worship Christ, but he put AI for the I, so he had all these like Dolly prompts of like Jesus, but like as a computer. It's like, oh boy, we are getting wacky. Uppercase writes, I guess so. Somehow in my head it's always been the other way around. Oh, you're selected to be removed as opposed to selected to go forward. I would say it's definitely happening both ways, right? But yeah, I suppose sexual selection is like who you're gonna jump on top of, right? So it's like makes sense either way. That makes sense. We need a new round. Let's do a normal one and then a drawing one, and then figure out how much longer we want to chit chat. Oh, look at this! Lithros, Mr. Horse, here to play with us. Hey! Lithros, did Dancing Horse share some of the results from? Oh my God, I would have to pull it up. Did she share some of the results from Bad Wrongman 2 weeks ago? We had a whole round celebrating that structure, but I can find some more. Ah, ha, ha, yes, she did. Wonderful, wonderful. We make Twitter drama real. We make the jokes come to life. I'm just gonna put shrimp. A meme to surpass Metal Gear. Who was that scientist's name? Was it? So there was a Lovelace, Ada Lovelace. She wasn't the scientist, I don't think. Like she was like a spy who was close to the scientist, or what? And the scientist was like a nerd guy. I forgot his name. I only really played Metal Gear Solid 5 like all the way through, but like the one with no cutscenes. But Otacon, that's probably it. Either Otacon or Huey. He's like, he like turned wicked at the end when like the Metal Gear like went live, and then like the evil like spore child took it over. Huey Emmerich, yeah, that's exactly what I'm thinking of. Yeah, and then he was like, "Behold, Metal Gear!" And he still had this like whininess to his voice while he was like trying to be super profound and like took the stage like, "I'm powerful now," or something. And so like so your phrase, it feels like it needs a mix of Huey and but wasn't Lovelace also a character in Metal Gear Saga? I know Ada Lovelace is a real person, but like, but regardless, it's like, me, but also, who's the guy who talks to Snake on the phone? It's like, Snake, we found your operative. Like he also has like a whiny voice, right? Like so, maybe I'm just overthinking this. A meme to surpass Metal Gear? Anyway, I'm spending too much time on this. Shrimp. An ancient shrimp cultivation hut near the beach. Otacon is the phone guy. Aha. So, there we go. Just always a whiny voice. Otacon, Huey. It's a lineage. It's an inheritable trait. A portal staffed by robotic shrimp leading to a robotic afterlife. That's weird. An intergalactic shrimp call and response battle. That's weird. A shrimp-shaped spaceship swimming through a starlit sky. I like that. Cosmic shrimps playing in a shrimp orchestra. You're a shrimp chef at a... I like this. You're telling me a shrimp fielded this armada? A shrimp-shaped spaceship swimming through a starless sky. Did GPT-3 just alliterate us? A shrimp-shaped spaceship swimming through a starlit sky. Like, this is the only non-S word. So be it. Start round. We're going to shrimp it up this round. Shrimpzilla! Mecha Shrimpzilla. Alright. You telling me this journey is mid? See, I'm looking forward to DALL-E 3 because they'll just drop the E. It'll be like the Tesla 3, right? It was the Ford Model E or something. No, it was the Model T. But like the economy range for like Mercedes is the Model E. So the Tesla 3 is like the E. You know, it's like lead speak. So DALL-E 3 will just be like Doll 3, DALL-E 3, right? Anyway. I'm having too much fun. Let's see. Della. D3LA. Let's see. A fleet of giant chrome shrimp flying through a neon nebula explosion in a densely star-filled sky. Fantasy painting. Hyper real. Here we go. Heavy Metal magazine. And you thought the Portal one was out there. Maybe we're gonna have to like. It would be fun to have a voiceover channel. It's just so much work. Ooh, look at this. These are like ghost shrimp. I like it. Make another one. I miss having a percentage report. They took it out of the API. I'm pissed off. Either that or they refactored it so that I have to parse it differently. But maybe there's something in the output. Maybe it's in a different field now. I'll take a look. This is wrong. But this does look like it was in Heavy Metal magazine. Thank you, Summer Crowns, for a nice job. Anyway. So far, this is the best one because these are shrimp shaped in their ghostly specter. Yeah, it is a blast. Speaking of old timers, non-spring chickens here. I just turned 37 last month, and like 36 still felt like 35, but 37 feels like 40. It's like, all right, there's no more excuses. We gotta. Ooh, that one looks like a mantis shrimp. The tab weirdly. Oh, I accidentally hit back. Luckily, still in my session. It's like not quite old enough to be your dad. So, wow, Heavy Metal magazine. That's a blast from the past. Understood. Lethros, you're so old. I am also 37. Summer Primes. Well, I'm not quite old enough to be your dad. Older brother. That voice hits the pipe the wrong way. This shrimp looks awesome. I don't know if I like that shrimp or that one. Ah, I lost the prompt. But it's right here, so I can copy it. And I can cancel this. Yes. And I can cancel it again because that MGV4 style is already added in by my API. So that is not completely helpful. Ooh. This is neat. Space ocean. Yeah. Gosh, make more. I love this. The pink and purple blue. Gosh, I was doing this one improv class. Darth Corcoran. I ain't old yet. 37. Right on, brother. Look at this. Receding hairline, but rich color. My dad's hair went jet white at this age, so that'll be coming. I think I got one like strand of it, like right here. It's about to start. Honestly, yeah. It's like I do some of the dorky stuff, right? You know, like where you try to the old guy trying to look too young, you know? Follow the trends. Got my pit vipers on for the for the Utes. Stay cool with this. This one sucks. It looks vaguely oceanic. It looks more like a space station. Not what I'm looking for. This is honestly kind of interesting. It's got like a manta ray feel to it. It's not like a shrimp. I can't read what anyone is writing. I'm lucky I still have all my hair, but I'm getting the white streaks. Ooh, skipping gray. Right on. Last one reminded me a bit of EVE Online. This guy? Nice. Does EVE have a distinctive visual style? Because I know, like, their whole premise is more the griefing as gameplay, right? Like the full libertarian space. An EVE Online story, like, apparently it got a mention in that book about Benghazi that became a movie. That the tech support guy, some of Pride's writes, EVE does have style-ish. They're factions and they have aesthetics. That's cool. Distinct ones. Why am I totally blind out of the center of these? Oh, it's just where it hits the screen. Yeah, it's the polarization. It like perfectly blocks the screen light in some way, but I can still see normal stuff. That's wild. Anyway. But yeah, apparently before they were all killed in Benghazi at the U.S. Embassy, one of the tech support guy who was there for the U.S. State Department happened to be one of the most prolific EVE Online players ever. And the man had actually created... Turn your head 90 degrees to see if it lets you see the screen. Let's look at this shit. And apparently, EVE Online had an entire network of spies that were like, had infiltrated every faction and manipulating all of the alliances in order to feed back intel into the core Imperium class or group. And the guy who had invented the entire method of espionage and sabotage in the entire thing, in the entire game, who was the man in charge, who created it all, was in charge of it all, had an entire network of trained people, literally worked for the U.S. State Department. as a tech support agent. And was killed by a protest in, isn't it Libya, Benghazi? I think so. Yeah, it is. And like, that's tragic, but it's also like such an amazing, story of the guy who gets to be the tech operator for the spy games is operating his own spy games in his video game. It's magical, It's just sad that he had to go because of spy games. So 90. So like, it is interesting because like I can make out the text okay, and maybe it's more like where the color twins or something. Like I don't know, but it's from this angle, this position, almost totally blocked, but normal, generally okay. Anyway, that's distraction. We got submissions from Lethros, Dancing Horse, linked out. Still working on it. I'm still working on it, so I'm going to pick one of these. I think Mantis Boy is a real winner here. This is cool, but it's not the shrimp ship. That one's going in. Some of Primes, I intentionally avoided Eve for the first while, but a friend persuaded me to go down the rabbit hole after seeing the Causality trailer. Grabbed my gaming time for 2 years after that. Good God. I can see how. I just end up reading like the reports and white papers on Eve. Like, like how they set up their server system so that they would parse every time event in game without dropping any of them. They would just dilute the passage of time so that every command could be processed in queue in order precisely. And so they would scale up the automated server processes by attacking peaceful systems with like computer defended police, so that it would put extra strain on the servers and scale up to dilute time all the way down to like a second, now taking a full minute instead of a second that it normally takes. The whole thing strikes me as a work of art, including that internal slideshow of Gordon Gekko Greed is Good when they moved subscription game time into the game as an item for an actual exchange rate economy to the USD. A true metaverse, like, in all regards. We're going to judging round. We got 4 submissions, 4 players. Let's do this. 3, 2, 1. Let's jam. Oh! My shrimp ship looks awesome because it's like a mantis shrimp. It's like a rainbow sort of thing, just like a mantis shrimp. But these guys, that is a shrimp mashup. That is a gorgeous shrimp mashup. I love these shrimp ships. They look kind of like, they look like 2 things to me. They actually probably look more like just one of them, but I'm reminded of 2 things. One, the little drone that can't see in the dark that goes to assassinate Paul Atreides, right, the night that they moved into Arrakeen. It reminded me of these, but then when I saw the fins, it looks more like the Matrix probe that starts out as like a little techno thing, like a fork almost, but more like a probe, and they hit the button and it grows a cocoon and scoots around, and it's got like a flagella now, and then like for right here, and like shoots into his belly button to become like a active listening device on his avatar. These are awesome. Congratulations. Great job. Shrimp-shaped spaceship swimming through a starlight sky. Ooh, okay. This one. This seems like it could be at the Jimmy Buffett restaurant, right? Like if they were having like oh man, if they're like spacing out, you know, like if they were listening, like taking mushrooms or something. It's like, imagine if the shrimp were from another planet. It's like, dude, you know, I love it. And this one is very cool too. Like this is very Reaper from Mass Effect, right? Like doesn't it without like the purple body, like big exoskeleton. Which do I like better? So this one's spacier than this one, but this one doesn't. This one does have space. This could be the visitation of the shrimp from space, but this is like native to space. I'm going this one because it's spacier, but I love them both very much. We got votes from everybody. Hit and finish. Let's hit it. Boom. Dancing Horse with the Matrix Probe Shrimp has swept my Space Mantis Shrimp Beetle 5-0. Congratulations, Dancing Horse. You have perfected the Space Shrimp. Uppercase writes, I actually included no planets in my submission. Couldn't get it spacey. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, okay. It looks like negative prompts is a priority. I can add that this weekend. I'm trying to do more infrastructural stuff, but we can get it through. Scott Lethros. Scott Hansen. Mr. Lethros. Mr. Horse. 5-0 on this shrimp. It looks like the mom and dad of Vibe Camp have just taken this round entirely. Just crushed it. The rest of us over here, we just don't. You see, this is funny because like Goth600 is posting all these shrimp memes, and I was in a Twitter space where Based Beth Jesus asked him how he's so good at Twitter posting, and he said, you know, ever since I had a child, you know, I can just think of like taking care of, you know, weaker things. It's such a natural part of my instincts. So I just kind of apply that to shrimp, and I'm able to make all these like AI shrimp, sort of like meme kind of things. And look at this. The couple raising a new child. Their shrimp posts. Take all the votes. Summer Prime's like, you would have. He throws us, we will boil him soon. Delilah. Anyway. And thank you, Summer Primes, for the shrimp exploration ship. All right. This has been a fun night. We've been doing a lot of babbling. Probably been more talking than prompting here. But yeah. Summer Primes writes LOL too. We will boil the child soon. Let's see. I want to do a drawing round. Unfortunately, we've already covered shrimp. We could do shrimp again. But that might be cheating. So let's see. What to draw? What genre? I don't think we pulled in any viewers from that group chat that I just hit up, but let me check. Oh, hey, a follow. Thanks, Iak. So I had my OBS configured correctly at first to like isolate the music channel so that it could be removed from stream for repeated playback. And for some reason OBS reset the thing where the channel I had turned off or enabled is no longer the way it was when I turned the thing off. So it's still going to be in the thing, but because I'm talking over it, it doesn't detect automatically that it's like, you know, getting ripped off, so that's nice. But also, I'm not isolating my speakers to go into my ear, so it's actually feedbacking into the mic, so even if I had taken it off, you could still hear like a twinge of this, so completely unprofessional over here. I gotta shape up this shit. Shrimp. Just thinking shrimp. Let's see. I'm on Fitness Arc. What do you got for fitness? I've not tried Streamlabs yet. Could be... I like the glowing neon signs. Let's see. Here's a drawing round. Your prompt is glowing neon signs at night in a futuristic urban jungle. This might be a little complex because this is more like sort of architectural cityscape oriented. Let's see how this goes. This is a drawing prompt. If you're using Firefox, it's not going to work. So I'm just going to apologize to you out the gate. Now you have two major options for this. You can use one of these three, which is going to use an image-to-image library to fully transform the whole composition. It's the ones we've been using ever since. Or ControlNet Scribble Library. This only accepts black scribbles on a white background. But that's actually probably ill-advised to add those things. It's going to interpret it all too dramatically. So, I was going for like a street road perspective here, but it's looking a little too crazy. A little too busy. But, yeah, I really need to do the advanced parameters on this, but we're going to say a neon lit urban future city at midnight, raining, scene from Blade Runner, Taxi Driver, Cyberpunk, dense urban city center road. Yeah, we'll see if it can. We'll see how. It's going to be too closely bound to this terrible sketch, isn't it? Look at that. Look at that. You got this ugly sketch? Something's wrong with my code. Alright, so, okay, if that happens to you, where you're looking at your drawing, and it accidentally switches to the drawing instead of the output, one thing you can do is click this button, the share button, opens it on a new tab. It has this still. So when it's logged in the database, it still is accurate towards the input and the output picture. So that's good. In the live game, It's a little busted. I'm sorry that it's busted. It's a brand new feature. But in the log, it's still okay. So something to hold on to, play with. Let's see. Summer Primes writes both the popular personal preferences on OBS versus Streamlabs. Yeah, I just have to invest in the media side of the show. Like, I have experience podcasting and everything else. Right now I'm investing in the dev because I want to be a game developer. And I've never had a career in that. I've all been making business apps. So, but this show, I'm all washed out here. This show becomes this opportunity to sort of fuse all the skills, and so I have to really turn this into a proper media project, which I will do as soon as this makes enough cash to do it full time, and then I'll focus on the media. I'll have interns and engineers fixing the bugs, but it's all a process, you know. So that was my ControlNet one, and honestly, this is a good output. I really like it. Let's do another one. The only problem with it is that it's weighted too strongly to the contours of the scribble, right? Like, it would be more powerful if it could force align some of these instead of being so close. It is doing that right here. Like, this is a straight line where it sort of curves in the source. So maybe it's doing just fine, but this one's a little too perfect aligned. But that's okay. But that's just a weight value that we can change on the prompt that we send through. So we can just expose those onto this, or there's lots of ways to deal with it. It would be smart to open Pro mode to let everyone mess with every single parameter. Musical Sleep was asking for that in the past, so we can totally take advantage of that. This one's cooler. I like it. This one looks like the highway. I do like how it's creating this sort of like fade effect. It's doing it sort of on air. So let's intentionally write high depth of field, vertigo effect. They go together in my head. It's good for the mise-en-scène, you know. It's also right equilibrium. Like, let's put on. When I first started working on this, I was chatting with Brooke a little bit, and she was like, is the theme of Vibe Camp going to be Synthwave Dystopia? And it's like, oh, there we go. So yeah, Synthwave Dystopia. Jared. Also, I should make a new picture. I'm having fun with ControlNet. I don't think I'm going to do a full composition. This is really cool. It's not quite right, but it's still very cool. Looks very close to this, though. I mean, what should I expect? It is the same, you know, starting image. So, let's put the road. Let's put a guy. This is a pretty terrible drawing of a guy. Say he's leaned against a trash can. And like a bar window. Let's see. I'm gonna put grumpy, sleepy, homeless man leaned against a trash can outside of a lively bar Neon lit urban future city midnight raining scene. Yeah. This is a pretty awful drawing. Let's see what it does. Let's compare. This is amazing. I love it. This looks like the cabin of Dr. Caligari. Like, this looks like historical German expressionist film. Like, the weird vectors in the background. Like, if they could imagine what Blade Runner would look like, but they only had the, like, Tim Burton-esque, you know, cutouts of that era. This is like Tim Burton making Blade Runner in 1902. That's what this is. And I love it. And don't quote me on the year. I don't know what the right year for that reference is. Oh, they just took him away. They turned him into a mailbox like that, like when Homer got a job for Frank Scorpio. Oh, sweet. Some of Primes have got a contribution to the round from last week. Let's see. Should probably look here. Look at that. Very nice. Nice. Now let's see Paul Allen's Synthwave Dystopia. Yeah, I like my own tweets. I love how this forgives how dirty this is. Do it again. You know, it didn't dawn on me. But yeah, this looks very MGV3. Honestly, the oil paint style would have led me to think it was Dali too. But I do, but the structure of the geometry is very Midjourney free. Like, this is Midjourney 3 right here. So yeah, you can totally see the, this is Dali, this is Midjourney, this is Midjourney. This is also Midjourney. And so, yeah, there's something to this one that I saw in yours. This is Dali. And also something in this one. Some of Primes writes, fair enough, after playing so much with Stable Diffusion, StyleGAN, Midjourney, the transition to Dali was a bit of an adjustment. It really is. Dali is designed for sort of normie prompting. Oh, I can't even see what it became. That sucks. Which one was this? I love how the neon signs work in this one, so I'm going to submit this one. But while we wait for Uppercase and Dancing Horse, we can try the conventional image-to-image instead of the instead of this ControlNet one. It is so fun having ControlNet added to this, but I'm going to mute myself so I can use the restroom real quick. Kroger water with bubbles. We got something in from everybody. So let's go to the judge. Ooh, these are cool. Uh-oh. Ah! It's at the busted thing. All right, well, you see this really cool cyber car that looks so much better than this? I love how your prompt was transformed that way. This is very cute. This looks like an alien like peeking above the city, like over onto everybody. Like looks like neon god creature saying hi over the town. Nice. And then this is very fun. Am I the only one who did ControlNet? I'm not supposed to use colors in ControlNet. It'll like ignore them when it gets through, but maybe that's good. Who knows? I like the details here. I'm gonna go with that. All right. It says we have 9 votes in. I guess we're waiting on one from Dancing Horse. Ooh, we have got it. All right. I've got 1 vote so far, people. My screen is 2560 by 1440, but it's zoomed in like 4 times because I want it to show up effectively on stream. Oops. Just dragged something. And again. Oh boy. I should have locked that. But yeah, that would be the native, but I like having it all big for the broadcast. Lethros 5120 by 1440. Dang. Size of my icons in my tray. Nope. Looks 50 high. Something. I got double wide. I got 3 screens up, but Alright, people. Thank you for doing that round with me. I got energy for one more. Odyssey G9, baby. I'm jealous. You got no bevel separating that stuff. Good for you. Bevel, I don't know. Odyssey G9, baby! Summer Prime's gonna do one more. Dang, 12:27. It's 11:23 p.m. for me. 1 hour ahead of me. Are you like in Puerto Rico or something? Still got work to do. Dang. Tough one. Well, that drawing bug is now Atlantic time. Gotcha, man. That drawing bug is now raised to critical level. Canada, you get to stick out further into the sea than we do in the Florida area. Maritimes. Lethros over here is thinking we're gonna break into Gilbert and Sullivan. They do exist. Some of Prime's is actually a mermaid from the sea, broadcasting from his phone. Newfoundland, only going half an hour ahead. Good job, Newfoundland. New Brunswick. Got that New Brunswick stew. Look at all of us doxing ourselves like a big family. Oh, God. Holiday light show with yoga poses projected onto buildings. It's pretty fun. Boot camp in a haunted house. That's fun. Grandma doing jumping jacks. We sail the ocean blue, and our saucy ships are beauty. We are sober men and true, and attentive to our duty. His nose should pant and his fist should curl, his teeth should flame and his brow should furl, his bosom should heave and his heart should go, and his fist be ever be ready for a knockdown blow. A British tar is a soaring soul, as free as a mountain bird. His energetic face should be ready to resist a dictatorial word. I'm sorry. Oh, God. Oh, never! What never? Oh, never! All together! Together in the fateful sea! But never. Honestly, I more remember the phonemes than the words, because the majority of my Gilbert and Sullivan exposure is either Bart Simpson asking Sideshow Bob to sing for him before murdering him while sailing on their family houseboat as the Thompsons under witness protection. And also every time someone has parodied I am the very model of modern Major General. Like, I remember with a friend, we wanted to... Some of Prime's is saying I should pay attention to these. Okay, good. Alright. Let's give 3 cheers and 1 cheer more for the hardy captain of the Pinafore. Oh. Anyway. Some of Prime's. Mountain biking with an energetic soundtrack. A cosmic soul-searching run along a galaxy-filled sky. That's cute. We've already done space. Don't distract from your role-playing. It's wonderful and hilarious. You guys are great. We got positive vibe music. We got that guitar solo going, that lead going. Boom. This is like 1980s, you know. montage, training, making it there for the karate fight. But more aspirational, you know? It's like rediscovering the truth and the heart at the core of the karate. Not just to bring down the evil guy, but to see the light intrinsic to the art form and to rejuvenate the heart so that when we do face evil, it doesn't bring us to its level. That we arise higher than the competition itself. And with that endearing focus and that connection to life, beauty, and truth, then we will prevail. No matter whether we win or lose, the society will thrive and survive. Anyway, feels good. We already did Neon. We already did Galaxy. Mountain biking's cool. The mountain biking needs a twist. Make a twist from mountain biking. Early morning ride before sunrise. Couch racing. Okay. Ooh. Rainforest, downhill, mountains. That's cool. Aww. Family, 8-year-olds mountain biking. Biker chicks empowered in matching leather jackets. That's fun. There was a good moonlit, flying through a moonlit meadow of wildflowers at midnight. Dancing Horse is right. When the computer gives us poetry, we have to reward it. In fact, we have to find a way to get the human reinforced learning back into ChatGPT when we select one of these out of the list and say, good job, this is the right one. I don't have a system that feeds back to say good job yet, but that would be a good feature. You know, it's like thumbs up and it tells the computer, good job, you know, at least for this user. We're going to make it a prompting round. Flying is fine. In our current standings, Lethros is cleaning house. Oh, we didn't even look at who won this. I'm sorry. This is my fault. Dancing Horse, 1 vote. Congratulations, Dancing Horse. Uppercase, 4 votes. Way to rock it, Uppercase. Lethros, I got that dog in me. I don't know if one can accurately say that they themselves have that dog in them. They have to act abrasively unless someone observes, oh, he got that dog in him. But you are winning the game. So maybe this is the one case where that's permitted. Oh, look at this. No votes. All right, this just became a critical buck. Highest level escalation. We're fixing this ASAP. The problem is that the schema of what it returns is different. It returns 2 images. One, the computed ControlNet guidance image, and then its output in an array. Whereas this one returns 1 image in an array. And this is the first. But for Scribble, you don't need it because you didn't compute it. You just took the input Scribble. Anyway, congratulations, Lethros. You got all the votes. Congratulations, Uppercase. You got most of the votes. Flying through a med flood photo. Start round. Boom. All right. Let's do this. Also, I have to fix the record system, but so be it. Because these drop off in December. The reason is that previously they had no username appended to them as the global record keeping. But now the way this works is that this is actually the user room to the Vibeware account. Whereas you'll be able to see the records to any individual user at the right URL, since there's like game rooms for any user. For instance, this one belongs to Maximus, my normal Twitter account. This one belongs to Vibor. Did they name the horse Max in Tangled? Did they name it Maximus all the way? That's funny. As a child, I insisted on seeing The Little Mermaid several times because the dog's name was Max. So, there you have it. My dance studio is having a Disney-themed costume party at the end of this month, I think on February 24th. You too have that dog in you. You're the man now, dog. That was a Finding Forrester reference. I'm not sure which is more prolific. The movie Finding Forrester or YTMND.com. It was sort of like a proto-Tumblr, wasn't it? It was like you had a whole account. There was one meme. The whole page. It looped an audio track with one weird image with like that text doing a really silly 3D effect. Does that still exist? Man, this looks way different. Gosh, it's like we didn't know what memes were. Like, they're like such prototypical memes, you know what I mean? That we committed like a whole rendered web page to like a bizarre composition of like text and image. So strange. That's history, you know? I've round status. Only if you're logged in as an admin. Not displayed on normal sites. Flying through a moonlit meadow of Some of Prime's rights. Reflect for a moment, though. We're still figuring out effective and healthy use of the technology available to us. Balance, for many, is a distant concept. Intriguing. The yeah, I think I take to the radical new future as well as I do, because I don't know. I think there's like a component where if you're not in harmony in the normal world, then you know, if things get mixed up, let's see what changes, you know? And if my soul was aligned with my environment and everything was harmonious, I wouldn't be writing a side video game. I'd just be, you know, vibing. But it's cool. We had to build and then vibe. It's a nice future tech integration to make the most of our talents and let's see. To make the most of our gifts and creations. This one, Greg Rukowski. This one's perfect for you, Greg. We're going to take your mangled soul and pump it back through Stable Diffusion again. Some of Prime's rights. Yes. You're cheating to push Greg Rukowski. Mostly because he doesn't like it. So that's what makes it funny. Some of Prime's, ha ha ha. I think there's more that's true in that radical exploration than in structuring a website to try to capitalize on dated representation of memes. Also, OMG, pushing the Rukowski button. And it's... Cyber metal. Boom, boom, boom. Stop making Twilight. Stop. Well, I didn't tell it not to have a horse. Why does the fairy need a horse? It's got damn wings. Yeah, there's a YouTube channel where I back this stuff up to. Sometimes I forget, so there's like we'll like miss an episode, but so here you go. Here's some past games that we had. Right on, dude. Let's see. Dancing Horse writes, "Don't you dare begrudge a girl her horse, no matter how fairy-winged she might be." Fair point, Dancing Horse. An enchanted meadow of wildflowers. Magical, dew dripping from exotic buds. Magical mist. I forgot Greg Rukowski. Why is midnight so hard for this damn thing? Sorry about that, Chief. Sometimes I don't pay enough attention to my game account. I do try to have a more generous follow back system on this. There you go. This doesn't look like Moonlight. I think I gotta find a new dance studio. Well, this is the closest I've come to so far that I like. But it ain't nighttime. It's twilight. How is this midnight? I'm gonna start pulling my damn hair out over this. No, that is midnight. Thank you, OpenAI, DALL-E 2, for midnight. Thank you, Summer Primes. I agree. He writes, that's a much better midnight. Because it's midnight. Remember Strong Bad? He had a song called Because It's Midnight by Limousine. He was in Guitar Hero 80s version. I loved Guitar Hero. I was pretty good at it, too. Ooh. Gorgeous. This looks like Elden Ring shit right here. I love the dolly outputs. Alright, Open Journey, get another chance. This is a very good monochrome. Okay. Your fairy looks like a groundhog crossed with an insect. But it looks like nighttime. Congratulations, Open Journey. You have reached almost adequate. Watch us do another, even with a full moon, thank you. Watch us do another fucking Twilight. Yep, another Twilight. What you got, Dolly? That's nice. This is a real winner. I'm locked in on this one. I like it. You can keep trying though. Those magical groundhog fairies from days gone by. Yeah, they're all getting derivative now. This was the real winner, so. Let's see. Stable Diffusion 2.0. Ooh, I don't hate it. It's got a style to it. So, Some of Primes is asking about the game. He writes, are all players presented with the opportunity to tweak prompts and engines? So, first, generally, yes, this is actually quite nice. The flowers are a little boring, but I like this aurora that it created. I'd buy this as Moonlight. But generally, yes. The one prompt field that we can use the documentation of the prompt so it can be repurposed across different past ones. There's a bug here where it's listing the wrong one for DALL-E. I'll have to fix that. But as well as for this, I need staff. Anyway, but yeah, this selection of models is actually very easy to swap between. These 4 are all on a web API running. That's like leasing per second billing from their GPU instance somewhere in the cloud, and this is a direct OpenAI API query. This is almost infinitely expansible towards anything on the replicate.com system. I might include an option to where you just type in the model you want to use and we download the version and query that. Then you could go to like Explore and just pick one of these, as opposed to the ones that like I've included by default, but you know, some ideas. So this next question from Summer Primes was, are players' prompts customizations private? The answer to that is, on your profile, you will always... That was wrong. On your profile, you will always see your prompt. But when you share that with others, with that share link, oh, I thought it wouldn't. Oh well. So right now the prompt is exposed, but I thought on this view it was not. But I will have to figure that out. But yeah. Oh, it's the difference was in this view for the records to look at a past game, if you look at the submission, the prompt is hidden. So linking to a game submission would not include the prompt, but linking from your profile's list would. But if you view the round, it's not pulling the database because I screwed up the naming scheme. So that'll be fixed and you'll be able to get a prompt called version soon enough. We got submissions from everybody, so it's time to go to judging, unless someone wants to interrupt. This one doesn't have fairies. This one does. I still like it best. I'm sticking with that. Also, if you want, you could just create your thing with Midjourney and then upload it here. And then you could submit that instead. It runs a obscenity check. There's like a buzzing in that version. But anyway, we're gonna stick with this and clear. Yeah, there we go. Begin judging round. There we go. So we've moved to judging. It's built into Google Cloud Platform, so as soon as the file gets uploaded, it does a check for that. Sorry for all the babbling, guys. Love the owl. This is Flight. That's not... Oh, this is cool, though. I love, like, the eclipse of the massive mountain to the moon or something like that. Gorgeous. Yeah, very much the sort of oil painting wildflowers. I was hoping to get like some of these. Luckily, I got that from DALL-E. Ooh, this looks like another DALL-E. Oh, this is cute. Oh, there's like eyes on the moon too. I don't vote for myself, so those are my rules. Cute little guy. This is a great landscape. I love the magical principles behind this. This one, such a great perspective, you know, the spooky owl thing. Uppercase writes he's exhausted, or uppercase they are exhausted, and we'll be signing off after this round. I agree with you. I'm having a fitness arc, and I'm also exhausted. Results once again. Scott Hansen sweeping this round, 5 votes compared to uppercase. Congratulations, Scott. This round, 4 votes to Dancing Horse, but I kept 1. Didn't sweep me this time, Dancing Horse. So, but we got another husband-wife round, crushing on this one. And ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna call this a game. Thank you so much for joining tonight. This has been a real one. I'm gonna hit this button here, and bang! Check Vibe War Game on Twitter for the next session. But this was big winner, Scott Hansen, Mr. Lethros, Mr. Horse. Brush up on that Gilbert and Sullivan. Oh, no, never. What never? No, never. All together. Awesome. I'm glad you had fun, Summer Primes. Wednesday is our game play test night, and as soon as the game is comfortably at 1.0 for an open beta, we'll ramp up this show. We'll promote shit. We'll give some prizes. I'll go on other podcasts and run sessions for those hosts. It'll probably be like a few $1,000, but it'll be fun. And oh yeah, Emily would be great. She's never dropped in. She keeps saying she will. But she's such a sweetheart. Anyway, we'll get her in for one of these, and she'll upload. She'll have automatic open, and she'll be putting out her like pro work that comes in from the NFT level submissions. Drop them in at that bottom piece. But no, that would be epic. I love her show and content too. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, this has been The Vibe War. Thank you so much for battling with us this evening. I can't wait to do more. Have a great one, y'all. And I'll see you guys at camp in a few months. Hopefully this fitness arc really gets the tone down by then. Until next week, y'all.